සංසාර සාරෝග විනීතනිසං සන්නේත සාතං සුචිසාර දේසං සන්දේරකං සොන්න තනුම් පලාසං සංලාපදේසින් අනමේ විසාසං නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. Homage to the Exalted One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Good morning for everyone. Venerable Sirs, nuns, friends in the Dhamma. We have been discussing a very wonderful discourse in the Buddhist teachings since last few days. The name of discourse is that Metta Sutta, the discourse of loving kindness meditation. Here we discuss several topics, the four sublime states, Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekkha. And also we discuss 5 hindrances, Panchanivarana. The purpose of practicing Metta Bhavana is to reduce hindrances. As the result of practicing these sublime states, gradually we can overcome hindrances from our mind. As a result of reducing this nivarana from our minds, we are able to cultivate our inner peace, happiness, especially rapture. Here we practice Sati Nimitta, Metta Bhavana, contemplation of body postures, and Karuna Bhavana. At the same time, we can practice breathing meditation too. We are discussing the very special discourse Metta Sutta. According to this Metta Sutta, which comes in Samyutta Nikaya, in Bojjhanga Samyutta, it explains that the other religious asceticism perspective of practicing Dhamma, especially practicing the 4 sublime states. They say that they also practice 4 sublime states. The Buddha and his disciples also practice 4 sublime states, focusing on reducing 5 hindrances. They say that they and the Buddhist teachings are same. But here the discourse describes that it is not same. When we say the discourse in the soft level, sometimes you may think that both of them are same. The reason is that when we practice Samatha Bhavana, especially practicing 4 sublime states, the final goal is that equanimity or upekkha. That is the final purpose of practicing 4 sublime states. As a Buddhist follower, when we practice these 4 sublime states, we also can come to the equanimity. Equanimity is one of the sublime states of the 4 sublime states. You know, Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekkha. There also we can see Upekkha or equanimity. And also, when we go to the deep level in Buddhist practice, based on Samatha, there also we can see another equanimity which comes in the Bojjhanga or the 7 enlightenment factors. There we can see sati, dhammavicaya, viriya, peti, passaddhi, samadhi, and upekkha. There also we can see one of the equanimity is upekkha. What is the difference between the samatha equanimity and the equanimity in the 7 enlightenment factors? This is the main topic in Buddhism. This is very, very important. All the religious persons in Buddha's time, they also could practice samatha or samadhi or concentration. As the result of practicing samatha bhavana or concentration meditation, they could attain equanimity. That equanimity based on samatha and the mundane level. We explain two topics, that Upada Nirodha and Anupada Nirodha. Upada Nirodha means the cessation of what is arisen. There is a world around us. One day they may be destroyed. Physically, we are going to old age, sickness, and finally death. This belongs to the cessation of which is arisen. That can be realized by anyone. We don't need a Buddha to realize this reality. Before the Buddha attained Buddhahood, as a layperson, he had realized this truth, Upada Nirodha, when he saw sick person, dead body, old person, there Buddha had realized, as a layperson, Upada Nirodha, the cessation of which is arisen, that is common. Everyone can realize that truth. This physical world gradually going to destroy. That can be understood by anyone. Based on the samatha bhavana, when someone concentrates his mind with jhana, when he gradually comes to the fourth jhana, he can cultivate equanimity. That equanimity or upekkha based on the conventional truth. When someone practices metta bhavana, karuna bhavana, mudita bhavana, and finally he realizes that the people face some kind of problems in this world. Even though I bless them, even though I try to overcome them from suffering, I can do it because of their karmic energy, karmic results. Then they automatically come to equanimity. They make a balanced mind. That is equanimity based on the conventional truth, based on the concentration meditation. That is not the final liberation that Buddhism has explained. That is the final liberation of other religious people. Since their final solution is that concentration. But when we discuss the Buddha's message, here we can see three disciplines: sila, virtue, samadhi, concentration, and finally wisdom. Their concentration is the middle. In Buddhist teachings, concentration or samadhi is the middle. That is not the end. that is not the final solution, final liberation. Here we can see equanimity in Samatha Bhavana based on the conventional truth. And also, after having this consideration as Buddhist followers, understanding the truth, the sublime message, we come to the next level, which is panya or wisdom. When we practice panya, first of all, we should have clear understanding what we practice, where we are going to. In this discourse, the Metta Sutta in Samyutta Nikaya that explains how we overcome hindrances or nivarana. Not only that, it explains we practice samatha, viveka-nisitam, viraga-nisitam, nirodha-nisitam, 𝒮𝓃 We practice samadhi bhavana, concentration meditation, based upon seclusion, distraction, cessation, and maturing in release. Viveka-nisitam, based upon seclusion. Viraga-nisitam, based upon distraction. Nirodha-nisitam, based upon cessation. And finally, 𝒮𝓃 based upon maturing in release. These words are very important. When we come to this level, we have a clear understanding about the final solution, final destination in our liberation. Here we can see the anupada nirodha, that is very, very important, the cessation of which is not arisen. That is the very special thing in Buddhism. That is unique in Buddhism. What is that? Everyone can realize that this physical world can be destroyed, can be overcome one day. That is common. That is utpada nirodha, the cessation of which is arisen. But Buddhism finally explains the anutpada nirodha, the cessation which is not arisen. What is that? As soon as we experience something through our senses, through our eye, through our nose, through our tongue, through our ears, nose, body, so on, when we experience something through our senses, we can contact something in the present moment. We can contact something which is in the material world. But the very important thing, when we understand it, the physical world has already ceased. We can contact some colors at the moment through our eyes. When we recognize this is a bar, this is a bell, this is a monk, that we understand through our mind consciousness. We can see someone through our eyes. We can see only color through our eyes. We understand a person or thing not through our eye consciousness, but through our mind consciousness. When we understand this reality, we see very well when we recognize something through our mind consciousness, the material world has already ceased. Then we see the world as empty. Here, with this understanding, we automatically come to equanimity. That is the place where we liberate from suffering. Here, it is very important to understand this reality. When we understand this reality, our mind has no space to depend on this world. There is an example in Buddhism. When sunlight comes from the east direction, if there is some land in the west direction, that shadow comes to the land. If there is a water in the west direction, that sunlight which comes from this direction comes to the water. If there is no water or land, there is no place for the sun's shadow. Similarly, when we see something, immediately if we can understand the world as empty, then mind has no place in order to depend on. This is the anupada nirodha, the cessation of which is not arisen. By practicing insight meditation based upon the concentration in the mundane level, when we reflect on insight meditation, arising and ceasing of our body and mentality, or the five aggregates, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. Rupa forms, Vedana feelings, Sanya perception, Sankhara mental formations, and Vijnana consciousness. These aggregates arise at the moment with the conditions. When conditions cease, they immediately cease at the moment. For this understanding, we should have clear understanding about this message. This is the place where we should be confident in. This is the thing that the Buddha has realized for his own understanding. If we trust and confident in this message, and also if we believe that this message directly helps me to overcome suffering, we should keep this understanding in the highest level in our life, in our mind. We do all the activities giving the priority for this reality. Then our inner energy gradually increases. Then we can be patient anything. Yesterday I saw that there were some frictions. There we can see some frictions that you have given. Sometimes you ask that how we patient. How we be patient when we practice this message. Sometimes we have physical pains when we sit here. Sometimes we are so hungry when we practice Dhamma. Sometimes we face some difficulties. When you go to another country by a plane, having an air ticket, you have very small space. You have very small restroom. But you never shout. You never struggle with the air hostess. You are so patient, having a very small space. use in a very small restroom. You are patient for several hours. Why do you do that? Because you have given much money for the ticket, and also you have a very highest goal to go to another country in order to visit your parents or do something. Therefore, you are so patient. You are like the spiritual persons, no any sound. You know, my friend, when we practice Dhamma, this goal is not like that, visiting our parents or something. This is a very high spiritual goal that helps us to overcome all the sufferings. When we keep our intention in the highest level, we can bear anything in our life, since we have a spiritual dream. And also a very special thing, we see the results not only finishing the spiritual goal, but on the way, while we are practicing Dhamma, even though we haven't achieved the goal yet, on the way, when we practice Dhamma, we can see the results. 𝒮𝓃 ℒ𝒶𝓃, Dhamma has some qualities, visible results, immediately effective. The more you practice Sila, Samadhi or Panya, the more you can see the results. When you practice Sila or virtue, discipline in your speech and behavior, you can see the results. You can overcome many difficulties and problems when you practice Sila. Then you are happy. When you practice concentration, meditation, and when you reduce hindrances, you can see the results. Vitakka, vichara, piti, sukha, rapture, happiness, equanimity. These are the results you receive on the way of your spiritual path. Then your inner motivation gradually increases, since you see the results on this path. This is the way how we develop our inner courage, inner motivation. And also, finally, the very special thing, when we practice Dhamma, the Buddha explains the final goal. If a person wants to dwell perceiving the repulsive in the unrepulsive, he can live like that. If a person wants to dwell perceiving unrepulsive in the repulsive, he can live like that. If a person wants to dwell in the repulsive, if a person wants to dwell perceiving repulsive in the unrepulsive and the repulsive, he can live like that. If a person wants to dwell perceiving unrepulsive, perceiving the unrepulsive in the repulsive and the unrepulsive, he can do it. If a person wants to dwell perceiving equanimity, avoiding the repulsive and the unrepulsive, he can live like that. This is the final goal, equanimity. Even though we experience pleasant or unpleasant experiences, immediately we can overcome that feelings. Suddenly we can come to equanimity if we have practiced mindfulness to the maximum level according to what the Buddha has explained. This is the final goal of our spirituality. Without changing anything in the material world, in the outside world, just changing our perception, we can live any way what we like, mindfully and wisely. This is a very important thing. Whatever we do with mindfulness and wisdom, we have no suffering. This is the highest goal of practicing Dhamma. Having this understanding, we keep our spiritual goal in the highest level in our life. We do all things focusing on this spiritual goal. Then we can bear anything in our life. And also, we can enjoy our life, but we understand the enjoyment of our higher senses are not very high. That has less enjoyment and more dangers. If you can enjoy with something, practicing samatha and vipassana, concentration and wisdom, that is the highest enjoyment. That is the highest gratification, result that we receive through practicing samatha and vipassana. That is why Buddhism says, as a wise person, the highest qualities that we can practice are samatha, vipassana, concentration, and insight meditation. Day by day, we increase the duration of practicing these techniques, samatha and vipassana. Finally, we have to practice mindfulness and metta bhavana, or mindfulness and anapanasati bhavana, or breathing meditation. In the mundane level, we concentrate our mind in the present moment with a pleasant object, meditation object. Then we are very calm, we are very peaceful. This happiness based on the conventional truth in the mundane level. Here also we can come to equanimity, that equanimity based on the conventional truth, based on ignorance. But we should come to the next level of equanimity based on the ultimate truth, based on wisdom. What is that? 𝒮𝓃 ℒ𝒶𝓃, the enlightenment factor of equanimity, based on mindfulness. There we reflect on impermanence. In the mundane level, we can develop our concentration, contemplating on thus, may all beings be well, happy and peaceful. For breathing meditation, breathing in, breathing out. Or contemplating on the four fundamental elements, or Pඨavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo. Solidity, fluidity, heat and motion. Again and again we contemplate on these four fundamental elements. By using these techniques, we can concentrate our mind in the present moment. At the same time, we are able to overcome hindrances near and from our minds. That based on the conventional truth in the mundane level. That is the middle of the Dhamma, Samadhi. Samadhi is the middle of Buddhist practice. What is the end? End is wisdom or panya. They are what happens to us. As soon as we see something, we come to inside. The form has already ceased. I recognize that person through my mind consciousness. When someone says something, we immediately understand the word has ceased already. I recognize these words through my mind consciousness. When we behave somewhere physically, using our physical body, using our forces, We can keep our attention in our body that belongs to samatha. As soon as we feel something in our body, we can understand the body feelings. So body consciousness has already says, I recognize my physical body through my mind consciousness. We immediately come to inside. That is inside meditation. I recognize my body not through my body consciousness, but through my mind consciousness. We can come to equanimity in this level, in the mundane level. You are good people, you are peaceful person, I make a equanimity. That equanimity based on the conventional truth. That is in the middle as samatha. What is the equanimity belongs to the panya or the ultimate truth? As soon as I experience the world through my five senses, I understand the material world has already ceased. I recognize everything through my mind consciousness. Then I see the world as empty. I experience the emptiness in this world. There we automatically come to equanimity since we don't find anything in this material world. In the result level, we can contact the material world or persons or things with the four fundamental elements. But when we understand it, we understand everything through our mind consciousness. Then the material world is unable to affect us. They can influence us since we have already made a refuge within us. Our mind has no space in the material world. When we see the material world has already ceased through our wisdom. This is the final goal of practicing Dhamma. Having this understanding. Having confidence in this message, we practice Sila, Samadhi, Panya as much as we can. We do all things in our day-to-day life giving the priority for this practice. We keep this practice in the highest level in our life. All other things are in the lower stages. Then we can bear anything. Then automatically our patience gradually develops. We can be patient anything. Having this confidence since we have a spiritual goal in order to achieve one day. Okay, friends in the Dhamma, again we come to practice here in this session. We are going to practice 4 sublime states in short. In the next session, we are again come to the same practice with details with insight meditation. Here, yesterday, I had a question from you about the Satinimitta. How do we practice Satinimitta and Metta Bhavana in the same time? Yes. Actually, the first thing is the Satinimitta, the foundation of mindfulness. We start our meditation, keeping our attention in the present moment. Then we come to our main meditation techniques such as breathing meditation, Metta Bhavana, Dhatu-Manasikara, so on. Then our first step, that Satinimitta, gradually comes to soft. Then we do the priority for Metta Bhavana. May all beings be well, happy and peaceful. For breathing meditation. When we finish our main meditation technique, again where we come to? We come to Satinimitta. We have a place for our refuge. When we do our day-to-day activities, we do everything with the Satinimitta, keeping our attention around the nose properly. This is the place where we dwell with. What is the benefit of practicing Satinimitta? It helps us to concentrate our mind. 𝒮𝓃 the contemplation of our minds. If we live in Satinimitta or mindfulness object, every moment we read our mind. What happens to my mind at the moment? Whether my mind is lustful or not lustful. Whether my mind is angry or not angry. Whether my mind is ignorant or not ignorant. Whether my mind is liberated from suffering or not. Whether my mind is concentrated or not. This is the place where we practice 𝒮𝓃 ℮𝐾 viharati, the contemplation of mind based on Satinimitta. Whenever we practice Satinimitta, it means we have a refuge. It means outside persons and other things are unable to disturb our peace of mind. Since always we are reading our minds. Always we protect our mind. Since mind is the most important thing in our lives. We always protect our mind like a child. When you have a small child, you protect him or her like your own life. Like that, When we practice mindfulness, we always take care of our mind. Mind is the most valuable thing that decides our happiness or suffering. When we protect our mind, nobody can disturb our peace of mind. Whenever we have no mindfulness, whenever we are unmindful, outside world can disturb our peace of mind. The very first step for practicing mindfulness is that training our mind in order to keep in the present moment. This is the Satinimitta or mindfulness object. Okay, friends, in the Dhamma, now we are going to practice Satinimitta firstly, then Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekkha in short. Please get ready for sitting meditation. Relax your body, please. Please have a deep breath in. Fill your lungs. Hold a few seconds. Breathe out slowly. Again, have a deep breath in. Hold a few seconds. Breathe out slowly. Relax your body, please. Please be aware of your body posture that you are sitting here. And keep your attention around the nose or upper lip in the present moment. I completely live in the present moment, focusing my mind around the nose or upper lip. Next, I am going to practice Metta Bhavana, spreading Metta for everyone, those who are in this world. May all beings in the world be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the supreme bliss of liberation. May all beings in the four directions, east direction, south direction, west direction, and north direction, be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the supreme bliss of liberation. May all beings in the four directions, east direction, south direction, west direction, and north direction, be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the supreme bliss of liberation. I see the entire world like my family, like my children. May all beings be well, happy and peaceful. Next time I'm going to practice Karuna Bhavana, the meditation of compassion. There are some beings in this world who are suffering with some illnesses, aging, death, separation, and many other sufferings. I bless them to recover their problems and suffering. May all beings be free from suffering. May no harm come to them. May no problems come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they attain the peace of mind. May all beings be free from suffering. May they attain the peace of minds. May they attain the supreme bliss of liberation. Next I am going to practice Mudita Bhavana, the meditation of sympathetic joy. Mudita is opposite of jealousy. When other people are successful or happy, I bless them. I am also happy when they are happy. I concern their happiness is like my happiness. I always bless that may all beings be successful everywhere, every moment. May all beings in the world succeed everywhere, every moment. May all beings in the world be successful economically, socially, spiritually, and with health. May their happiness increase day by day. May they successful everywhere, every moment. I concern their success as my success. I think their happiness as my happiness. May all beings be successful everywhere, every moment. When other people are successful, I see them as my children. I am so happy when they are successful and happy. May all beings in the four directions, east direction, south direction, west direction, and north direction, be successful everywhere, every moment. Finally, may they attain the supreme bliss of liberation. Next I go to practice อุเบกขา Bhavana, the meditation of equanimity. Even though I apply and practice metta, karuna, mudita, I can control something in this world because of the karmic energy of some people and beings. I can change their karmic results. The beings are the results of their own karmas that they have done. Some are happy, some are suffering, some are healthy, some are unhealthy, some are rich, some are poor. This is the nature of the world, according to their karmic energy. Seeing this reality, I come to equanimity, อุเบกขา. I see the world with equanimity. I have no any attachment or distraction. I have a balanced mind, equal mind. My mind is like a still water. อุเบกขา. This is a very peaceful mental state. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Friends in the Dhamma, we practice post-harmony states in short. In the next session, we will practice it with details. For now, you have a short break. Having a break, you can come back to the hall for the next session. May all your spiritual goals meet with success. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.